Yes, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is WARZONE Jones coming right back at you. MMA topic video. I'm reviewing Ultimate Fight Night. It was a pretty good night of fights. The headline of the night was Conor McGregor versus Dennis Silva. I'm going to talk about that fight later. I'm basically going to be reviewing the main high fights, and I'm going to get the other fights. Some mention I'm going to give the results of those fights. So we're going to start off with the co-main event first. Was none other than, of course, Donald the Cowboy Cerrone versus Benson Smooth Henderson. This was a pretty good striking battle. You know, these guys were going back and forth, landing punches, landing kicks. You know, Donald Cerrone, you could tell he didn't really get off the way like he wanted to. You know, in his last fight, he damn sure didn't get off the way like he wanted to. You know, he wasn't really landing those really big power shots, you know, those really cool, fancy shots, you know, in his fight. But he was still landing shots. You know, he landed a couple of takedowns. Didn't really do anything with the takedowns, but he did, get a couple of takedowns. Benson, he basically was doing what he always does. You know, he's landing punches, he's landing kicks. You know, a couple of really cool, interesting, really fancy techniques. You know, he was doing what John Jones does, or I should say, you know, with the side kick to the leg. So he was giving side kicks to the leg, and he was even giving punches to the leg, which he does that sometimes. I don't really understand why. I think that's weird. I hope the judges don't really count that, but you know, punches to the leg, to the thigh, but that's nothing. I really don't think he should be doing that. So this might go down as a controversial win for Donald Cerrone, because some people felt like, a lot of the commentators, some of the UFC analysts, and me as well, felt like Donald Cerrone had lost this fight. And, I just felt like even though both guys was going back and forth, nobody really landed anything devastating, but I felt like that Benson was landing most of the shots. I felt like he was just basically scoring more points when it came down to striking. If they want to give it to Donald Cerrone because he got a couple of takedowns, really only two, but he didn't do anything with them. So even though he got him down, Benson got right back up. Like, it didn't take him long to get back up. So it's not like he just held him down for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. No, he held him down for about like 5 or 10 seconds. I guarantee you it wasn't long. So I don't hate Cowboy Cerrone. I do like Cowboy Cerrone. He wins 7 fights in a row. Cowboy Cerrone is your winner after the fight goes 3 rounds. But I don't think for a second that Cowboy Cerrone should have won that fight. But we all got our opinions on MMA, on how a fighter should win when it comes down to going to a decision. We all have our opinions on that. But I really do feel like Benson Henderson scored, basically landed the most shots. And even after the fight was over, once the fight was over and they raised Cowboy Cerrone's hand, the look on Benson Henderson's face was priceless, because he had that OMG WTF look on his face. He was so damn shocked. I was shocked too, but I wasn't as shocked as him. I don't think anybody was as shocked as him. Let's be honest here. We're not in a cage, but it was funny. Like, the look on his face was just so damn funny. I couldn't help but laugh. But moving on from that fight on to the main event, and I gotta say, this was a really good main event. Domination. I am really, really impressed by Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor went out there and he basically dominated Dennis Silva. Dennis Silva didn't have anything for him. He didn't have anything for him. I'll tell you right now, he really didn't have anything for him. And you could tell that they are building Conor McGregor as the next big thing. And at this rate, with Conor McGregor's ability, his talent, his enthusiasm, and his charisma, this guy is most definitely a marketable star. Now, in this fight, he just, like I said, he got basically everything that he wanted. Every kick, every punch, pretty much got it. He landed it. Dennis Silva, don't get me wrong, Dennis Silva's no punk. He didn't really go down without a fight. He went down, but he didn't go down without a fight. Dennis Silva, he gave him a couple of kicks. He gave him a couple of punches, but at the most, Cowboy. Not Cowboy. We're not talking about that guy. Conor Conor was landing the most shots, man. He was just landing the more devastating shots. You know, he kicked him in the head a couple of times. You know, he was landing punches. He was, you know, kicks to the body, you know, kicks to the head, no, punches to the head, most definitely. He was landing these punches. He was landing those kicks. And, you know, Dennis Silver, man, he tried, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. So he goes down in the second round. You know, Dennis Silver, after Dennis Silver gets punched, you know, he lands onto the cage, he lands onto the ground, and Conor McGregor gets right on top of him, and he gets the mount, and he's landing a couple of punches, landing a couple of elbows. To me, that wasn't devastating enough for me personally to stop the fight. You know, some people probably say, yeah, you should stop the fight, but no, I felt like he shouldn't have stopped the fight just yet. No, let it go for a little while for me personally, but Herb Dean did stop the fight. He probably wasn't going to get out of there anyway, to be honest with you, because he clearly was hurt. Your winner, Conor McGregor, and he gets a title shot. Now, before the fight, Conor McGregor was trying to touch gloves with Dennis Silver, but Dennis Silver said no, and Conor McGregor gave him the one-gun salute. And I thought that was funny because he said something afterwards, but, you know, they didn't show the one-gun salute. They didn't let you hear everything that he said. You just heard the bleep noise because he clearly did a whole lot of cursing. So you saw that he was going for the one-gun salute. They didn't show it all the way. You know, just like as soon as he stuck his hand up, before he could probably get the finger up all the way, you know, they literally switched from that, which they have to. And after the fight, even after Conor McGregor won, he jumps over the railing. And you know who he heads to? He heads to the champ. He heads to Jose Aldo, a guy who he's going to be fighting next for the title. And I am really, really interested in that fight. Conor McGregor, man, I haven't really seen him fight too many times, and I'm actually pretty impressed by the guy. He's actually younger than what I thought he was, too. I didn't know he was 26 years old. So Conor McGregor is really entertaining. He has a lot of enthusiasm. He's really, really marketable. He can quite possibly become the next big thing in the UFC. I think he could. Now I'm going to get the other fights to mention. We had Uriah Hall versus Ron Sterling. Sterling. Let me get that right. Ron Sterling. Ron Sterling loses in the second round by basically a cut, man. Like, that cut was so damn deep. Man, it looked like Wolverine took his blade and basically scratched him. You know, that was a really, really deep cut. So they had to stop the fight because of that really, really bad cut. Uriah Hall does have a lot of talent. Uriah Hall was probably overhyped at first, but that's because he just looked so damn good, you know, during the Ultimate Fighter when they first was bringing Uriah Hall out. And Uriah Hall, he does win. Hopefully Uriah Hall can continue a streak. I do like Uriah Hall. The other fight we had Norman Park versus... I'm about to get another person's name wrong. Taboo is his last name. Glisten Taboo. I believe I said it right. Glisten Taboo. Glisten Taboo, man. Apparently Glisten Taboo is up there with people like Randy Couture and GSP as far as who has won the most fights in the UFC. So he has won 16 fights in the UFC. Like literally. And that's pretty impressive. And apparently this was his 40th win. So, congratulations to all the winners. This is WARZONE Jones. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel for more MMA videos and my other topic videos that I do. I'm out. Deuces.